Foldable phones, not that kind. Apple did it first, but Samsung did it better. There's nothing more satisfying than hanging up on your mom by snapping your phone. But foldable phones have a limited lifespan, regardless of how careful you are. Johnzoid was not careful at all.
Light tap. Screen is pretty scratched up at this point, but let's see. That's like, oh, shout!
He sent us this phone to fix after his durability test, and I agreed before checking the price of replacement parts. Turns out it's cheaper to buy a blacklisted phone, almost by half, than to buy replacement parts. This phone looks like it'll be very difficult to repair, but there's only one way to find out. So, what we're going to be doing basically is we're going to be taking the internals from here and putting it in here. Like other Samsung phones, the way we start this is by cooking it. We're going to cook the back glass to soften the adhesive and make it easier to remove. I really do like this phone, but it seems like Samsung just wanted to prove that they can do it. It doesn't make a lot of sense that you close the phone and there's no screen here, except this little guy. Oh, this is touch, that's really cool. This one isn't creased, surprisingly. Hopefully it doesn't get creased, but I guess we'll have to find out. The Samsung's done cooking. We're gonna be using some plastic cards, and we're just gonna be getting under that glass. That was easy. That was easy. So that is our Galaxy Z Flip. This is the little LCD here, which is honestly really cool. The newer one has an actual screen, which is even better. First thing we have to do is unscrew all of this, and we also have to disconnect this connection here. I don't think this is screwed down. No, it's not. We can just clip that, and now we can take off our back glass. We're gonna unscrew everything we can see. Unscrew. Now we can remove the top bracket. There's little magnets up here. Remove the second bracket. And this is our Z Flip. This is the motherboard in its entirety. To the left, we have our ultra-wide camera with no optical image stabilization. And to the right, we have the 12 megapixel main camera with optical image stabilization. Let's start disconnecting stuff and see what we're dealing with. Disconnect our battery. Disconnect our volume buttons. It looks like we have everything disconnected. Let's see if we can lift this board up. And that is our motherboard. It seems like it's also a sandwich board. You see that little rainbow there? That's a hydrophobic coating. So it's semi-water resistant. Remove the front camera and remove the front earpiece speaker. Remove the vibration motor. And we're gonna take a look at this tiny little cute battery. So that is pretty much all there is on this side. Now we're gonna take a look at the bottom side. So this is our wireless charger, just chilling over here. We're gonna take that off, and we have our battery. This is the big battery, the main source of power. I've never seen a phone with two batteries before in different locations, so that's pretty interesting. But it seems like Johnzoid gave this a little boop. Hopefully it's still working properly. We're gonna unscrew everything I can see and check out what else there is. So far, this phone isn't hard to take apart at all. It's just like any other Samsung phone. I can imagine replacing the screen alone would be incredibly difficult though. So this is our subboard. Over here we have our microphone, we have our charging port, we have a magnet, and these little pins keep the subboard in place. My screwdriver is sticking to everything. We're gonna disconnect our wireless charger, remove the subboard. Now we're gonna remove our battery. We're just gonna wedge up like we always do. Samsung love to use strong glue with no real solution to actually remove stuff. That's why the forbidden cheese is king, even though I hate it. And there we go. That is our battery. Cute couple. Now that we have this phone all taken apart, it's time to tell you guys about something extremely important. NordVPN. Are you buying things from sketchy websites? Well, you shouldn't. But if you are, make sure you do it with NordVPN. Any website you visit will have access to your IP address, which they can retrieve information from, like your location. With NordVPN, all your information is safe. By using a VPN, you can spoof your location to make it seem like you are anywhere in the world. This comes in handy when you're trying to access region-restricted content. Canada has the biggest movie catalog on Netflix. Just switch your location to Canada and enjoy. Click the link in the description or visit nordvpn.com/prg and get a 72% off a 2-year plan with 1 month free. It's risk-free and there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. Wow, that sounded like a really good deal. Anyway, it's time to fix this Samsung Galaxy S6 Flips. We actually don't need this anymore, so we have the motherboard out and we actually don't need all of these parts. What we can do, since we got this phone for a very good price and all the internals are working properly, we can just place the motherboard of the other phone into this phone. So like we did with the last phone, we have to cook this phone. While the phone is cooking, are you subscribed? If you don't subscribe right now, I'm gonna cook the phone until it burns. The Samsung's done cooking. Now we're gonna take our plastic card prying. We're gonna pour some isopropyl alcohol and we're just gonna slide this in here and try and get under that back glass. The alcohol dissolves the adhesive so that I can pry into it with ease. Now we can remove the front panel LCD, disconnect it. There we go. So the main reason I actually bought the blacklisted phone is because I couldn't find any back glass for this phone. There was only front screens available. The back glass just was nowhere to be found. So the only way that was cost effective is by buying another phone that's blacklisted. I thought it would be a lot more interesting on the inside. It just reminds me of pretty much any other Samsung phone. Remove the logic board, remove the motherboard. I fixed too many iPhones. If I place water on the board, it'll just slide right off and leave no remnants behind. That's the beauty of a hydrophobic coating. We'll put in our other motherboard. So we got the battery plugged in. All that's left is for us to screw the black screw, put on all the brackets once again. Now we're gonna add some new adhesive to the back glass. Because this phone is still brand new, there is no cutouts, so I'm gonna have to do it myself. In case you guys are wondering, I actually never watched any tutorials of how to fix this or how to take it apart. I just kind of know how to do it based on experience. Once you fix phones for a certain amount of time, you'll just know how to do things. So we don't actually know if the motherboard that John Zoid sent us still works. I haven't even tested it. I'm just assuming that it does. So we're about to find out. If it doesn't, I'm gonna be extremely disappointed. We have the test tape all ready to go. We're going to connect the back LCD. There we go. Before we clamp it down, I'm gonna hit this with a boot. Let's see if it works. John Zoid. Thank God. That was scary, but it's booting. Let's see if there's any surprises on it for us. The phone is now on. Let's get a better look at what we just did. So John Zoid sent us this phone and he absolutely destroyed it. I mean, absolutely. And to buy new parts was just not cost effective. By buying a blacklisted phone, we saved a lot of money. Doing a brain transplant on this phone not only saved me money, but it also saved me a lot of time since I didn't have to swap over every single part. So this is it. The Samsung Galaxy Z Flip. So this phone is really expensive. Parts are really expensive. Repairs are really expensive. I don't see how buying this phone could really be worth it. If you're paying for a phone that already has a limited lifespan, and I mean, this phone is only allowed to close and fold so many times before the screen breaks. That's written in their fine print. With all that being said, I don't really recommend you get this phone. Samsung only really made it to show that they could do it, and while it looks really cool, it's just not practical, especially since the screen can easily be scratched up. In the future, we might have foldable phones that are more repair friendly, but this series is not it at all. If you are thinking about getting a foldable phone, it's probably best that you wait until they're more durable, more resilient, and less expensive to fix. Anyway, guys, that is all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't left a like yet, it's time to do that. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure you check out my last video or check out the one that YouTube thinks you'd watch and subscribe.